Ayuk right, they motion McCaffrey, backwards pass to McCaffrey, and he's going to throw downfield wide open. Brandon Ayuk, touchdown! San Francisco! He can run, he can catch,
getting on fire!
Christian McCaffrey can throw! Schultz to the other, going to throw out left, intercepted! Diamador Lenore!
Wow,
Dak
what a
Prescott
play!
just threw him the ball on the outcut going left to CeeDee Lamb. Diamador Lenore comes up with the game's first big play. Here's Prescott back, has time, throws out left, intercepted. Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner. Jimmy Ward tipped the ball, and Fred Warner with the INT. They're going to give it to McCaffrey coming left. McCaffrey, touchdown! San Francisco! He has thrown one, he has caught one, he has run one.
What's going on, 49er faithful? The San Francisco 49ers just took the L to the Seattle Seahawks. That's right, they lost 17-20 in regulation time, and it was a tough game. It was a tough game. I mean, you thought the 49ers would be able to pull off another gritty victory. Unfortunately, they got the ball back with 12 seconds left, not enough time on the clock to make anything happen, but the defense couldn't hold off and keep Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks out of the end zone. There's going to be a lot of blame to go around, and I'm here for it. I'm sure the crew's going to be in here at some point. I just finished doing my Bleacher Report show. That overreaction show got a little bit crazy. You know, people saying some things in the chat to me personally, and all I'm doing is just spitting the facts. Like, I'm just reading stats. But at the end of the day, people are entitled to say how they feel. Just don't tell me to shut the F up ever again, whoever you are. I'm sure you're probably watching. I asked you to come on over here. I got more control on my channel than I do Bleacher Report. I'm not trying to get kicked off their platform. I don't give a fuck about YouTube, though. So at the end of the day, that was kind of crazy. But listen, man, the Niners lost, and I know we're all in our feelings. This is definitely going to be one of those type of emotional shows. And let's just start with the shots, man. Let's go. 49ers offense is just basic. It's straight up basic. It doesn't matter who's out there. For some reason, this 49ers offense can't figure things out. I mean, I know they put up over 280 yards in this game, but it was the ugliest 280 yards I've ever seen. And I was hoping we would have got an ugly win. But unfortunately, again, the defense couldn't close or seal the deal. More like seal the deal. Like, the defense just fell asleep. It's like, they forgot that there was a quarterback out there that will run. I mean, he wasn't as effective in the passing game. And so, that the 49ers did a good job taking away Geno Smith. He did hit a couple explosive plays, got helped by the referees on a couple of plays and calls. I thought both of those plays Kyle Shanahan challenged should have been overturned or reversed or whatever the word is that they use, but they just weren't. So, the 49ers, I don't know, man. If you can describe the 49ers in one word, what would it be? Like, what would the 49ers be in one word? I know losing Bosa, hurt. It hurt a lot defensively. What did it hurt with? A lot, literally. Not just with the pass rush, just having a guy on the field that understands the game. I think what we're starting to see is a lot of players just having brain farts at the worst opportune time on the football field, offensively and defensively. On that last defensive drive, you can't not contain. You're not going to spot. I feel like the Niners just don't spot. I don't know why we don't, but I believe because you got guys going down the field that you got to cover. And if there's going to be a wide open guy down the field, you can't really leave a guy in there to spy Geno. But Geno didn't really run much in this game until he had to. It's just so cool. It's so crazy, right? So crazy. And, they say you lose the turnover battle, you lose the game, right? Let that simmer in. It was 2-1. I mean, the last turnover shouldn't have counted, but it is what it is. But let's see, man. Let's see how you guys are feeling. Oh, I like these words. Basic was my word. Avion Davis, we share the same word. It was definitely basic. Jack says we look flat. Beep. So really, okay. So we did look flat. Like, the offense definitely looks flat. And at this point, if we're not winning games, right? If we're not winning games, we got to start looking at our coach to start making some changes to get back to winning football. I don't know what Kyle Shanahan is going to do moving forward, but this is our third loss in the NFC West. Literally. Third loss, NFC West. And it's ridiculous. My man Thomas Adams, lazy. I get that, bro. I thought I was the only one that see laziness out there. Bums, old, trash, flat. I see flat, dull, suffering, hangover. Oh, man. You know what? The Niners need to see this. I'm hoping they're watching this because this is how you guys look to us. The 49ers look and I like the word lost too. Ooh, this is the best. This is the best one. This is the best one. This is the best one I've seen. Resp 21, disengaged. Why do the 49ers seem disengaged every single fucking week they go out there? Why is it that there's always one factor of the San Francisco 49ers off? One day you get the defense all in, you get the offense doing they do, special teams almost loses the game, special teams loses the game. That's usually the thing. The one time special teams comes through, kicks they field goals, makes the extra points, punts the ball where it needs to be, kicks the ball throughout the end zone, doesn't allow any returns, doesn't get any penalties, doesn't make any mistakes. The one time that happens, the offense is lethargic out there and they can't score. All right, they got 2 touchdowns in the red zone, 2 for 3 in the red zone. I'll take 67% or 66.66663, whatever. I'll take it. It's better than what we have been, which is 47%. It's where the Niners are in the red zone. I'll take it. They went 7 for 11 on third down. I'll take it. I'll take that. But how do you not put up enough points to beat this team? Oh, I know. You're unprepared. We could blame Kyle Shanahan for sure. He's the head coach. He's the guy. It's your team. Let's talk about Nick Sorensen, though, because I'm trying to figure out how many more passes Nick's going to get. How many more passes does Nick Sorensen get? I get it. No Dre Greenlaw. Cool. Understood. You knew that. You knew that, though. You knew you weren't going to have Dre Greenlaw. You knew that. So how do you not prepare for not having a Dre Greenlaw? You bring in Devondre Campbell. He's no Dre Greenlaw. D. Winters isn't developing as fast as you want him to develop due to injuries and slow starts of the season. He's no Dre Greenlaw. So where do the Niners get the energy? Because this is where I see a lot of the disengagement on the defensive side of the football. I understand you lost Javon Hargrave at the beginning of the season to a bicep injury. Boom, that's another shot. You do your due diligence and you make moves and you bring in guys to be on the inside, to shuffle around, to rotate. You get high production one week from Sam Okawanu, and then the next week he's making bonehead plays. The pass rush isn't what you expected. Leonard Floyd isn't hitting the way you thought it was going to hit. And we're heading into week 12 at 500. And the worst part, unfortunately, the NFC is a competitive division this year. Usually the NFC sucks. It's a few teams that sticks out. Nope, not this year. Because you got the NFC North that's literally running the NFC. You got the Arizona Cardinals, who's in charge of the NFC West, and they're sitting saying, oh, man, we could beat all these teams. The Niners just lost to the Seahawks. Ha, ha, ha. The Niners are 1-3 in the division. They can't win the division unless something inevitable happens and God intervenes and teams just start losing against each other. It's the only way. And I know it looks impossible because look at our schedule. We got to go on the road, play the Packers, then we got to play the Buffalo Bills, who just defeated the undefeated team. Man, that ain't looking good for the Niners now, right? We thinking Kansas City is untouchable. They were undefeated until now. They lose to the Buffalo Bills, a team that couldn't beat them ever. And now all of a sudden, we got to go play them too? Shit. Yo, it's about to get rough. Look, I'll tell you what. It's about to get rough for the San Francisco 49ers. But my faith is still there. I'm a faithful. I'm going to watch every game. I'm going to be into every game. I'm going to bring you coverage on every game. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because that's who I am. And I love this team. But I'm with you. You got me. Like, if you're feeling a way, be my guest to feel that way. That's what I'm here for. Be my guest. Because at this point, it just doesn't. It looks mid. 500 is fucking mid. It's mid for a team this dynamic. So you mean to tell me one guy on the offense named George Kittle doesn't play and we can't run outside zone? Make that make sense. And you know what? I don't mind the Deebo Samuel plays. I know people hate him because they don't give us any positive yards. I'm a firm believer that those plays are setup plays for something else, which we had that play action play a little bit later for Deebo Samuel, which Brock Purdy overthrows. I'm a firm believer in that. So I'm okay if a play doesn't work when you use Deebo Samuel. But you know what? We could blame Deebo for being slow, fat, not quick, old. Fine. We could do that. I know Christian McCaffrey had an outside zone run. It was literally the same. It just wasn't a reverse sweep, and he couldn't crack the code. He couldn't get up the middle. He couldn't get through the lane. So it's something about outside zoning that is off this year. And it could be there was no George Kittle. It could be the simple fact that you don't have one of your best run blocking guys out there next to, Trent Williams really not being able to set the edge out there for those outside zone runs to work. It could be. I don't know. But George Kittle not playing was a big downer for the 49ers offense today. Like, the moment that he was going to not play, you already knew the dynamic, the engagement, all of that stuff from the offense was going to look different. You did. You had to know. Now, look, there's probably some bad play calls in this game. There was some bad execution, and all the above happened in this game. I'm not going to say that. Everything happened in this game. Antonio Baker says they didn't lose because they didn't have Kittle. You can't prove that. That's impossible to prove. You can say that they lost because the head coach won't play the players that they will force on defense to dictate. You can say that part, but you can't say that they didn't lose because they didn't have Kittle because the Niners didn't have Kittle. So we don't know what it would have been like if Kittle was out there. So you can't say the first part. But the second part, you're right. Kyle's got to figure out a way to change up some stuff. You're losing. So Jordan, and the reason why I say that, Antonio, is because, when you have George Kittle out there, he's your number one threat in the red zone. And I get it. We went 2 for 3 in the red zone. But what about the explosive plays? He also is a part of having the explosive plays happen for the 49ers in the run game and in the passing game. So I'm not saying he was the reason, but him missing was a big bonus. It's not an excuse. It's a fact. You've watched him play this year. He's the best tight end in football for a reason. GSU for license. Quit lying, Breezy. You've been using that setup play for something else for years. Now, damn it, it ain't happened yet. Look, I'm just saying, like, then why Kyle doesn't get rid of it? Y'all don't be mad at me. I don't fucking call the plays. I don't call one play. If this was Madden, I know what I'm calling. If you're gonna play soft zone on me, it's quick throw game for me all year, all game. If you're gonna play soft zone, if you're gonna play soft and play off coverage on me, I'm just gonna work the underneath routes. If you're gonna put 9 in the box, I'm not running against 9 in the box. That doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna play action and get the ball across the middle of the field. You got 9 people in the box. You selling out on the run. Kyle's, I don't know. I wish Kyle would just get rid of it so that way we could stop fucking complaining about it. That's what I would like. But I would like Kyle to figure out a different type of play. to wake the defense up. And you know what's funny to me about this one GSU for life? How come every other team in the NFL can run this play on us and we invented this shit? That messes me up. Like, every team in the NFL runs the reverse sweep effectively against our defense. You ever notice that? If you go back to the NFC Championship game when we played the Lions, that's how he got the touchdown. It was a reverse sweep. It wasn't the running back, it was the wide receiver. I don't understand how we invent stuff and then we can't run it anymore because the defenses see it and they prepare for it, and then we can't stop the stuff we invented. That junk be pissing me off. That junk be pissing me off. But look, at the end of the day, there's got to be some changes. And I'm not saying that there's got to be changes as far as coaching and all that type of stuff now. I don't think you make any of those moves now. It's not a losing season. Kittle, let's see if Kittle is back next week. You get to keep element to your run game back. Let's see if Christian McCaffrey has a better game. I know a lot of people want to see more Jordan Mason. He had a couple of good runs. What did he do? Get 12 yards on 2 carries or something like that, and he came into the game. Why not more Mason? Again, I don't know what Kyle is doing, thinking, or whatever. I just know that this 49ers team is a hot mess. They're different. They're straight up different. I don't know if they're trash. I know a lot of people are saying that they're trash. I'm not going to go there and say that they're trash, but they are definitely different. It's something about this team that just doesn't have the it factor. Interesting. The it factor. Super interesting. Antonio Baker says all 3 rookies gave 3 explosive plays and games this season, and then the head coach says that's nice, but I'm not going to use them anymore. I don't think that's what it is. Like, I don't think that's what it is. Ricky Pearsall gets you the explosive play. Maybe he felt maybe they were prepared for Ricky and Kyle was trying to catch them off with something else. Either way, the offense again just didn't look good. And I don't know if it was because of the late. Usually when there's a late scratch to a player, like, Kyle can't make the adjustment. The adjustment is done. We've seen it with Deebo Samuel. Now we're seeing it with George Kittle. I wonder if that's what the issue is with Kyle Shanahan, adjusting to the late scratch. But, Kyle, if he didn't practice all week, you had to have known. But that lets you know that there's a difference between George Kittle and the other tight ends in this game. Eric Sobert got 1 catch for almost a first down in this game. Other than that, where was he? We didn't utilize a lot of stuff. And I thought Brock overall looked like Brock played a clean damn game. He just makes small mistakes at the worst times. Those tight window throws, what was Brock thinking? That ball shouldn't have even been thrown. And I get it. Should have been a penalty. Should have been PI on the back of a wide receiver. Should have been anything. They could have called any type of flag, but they didn't. And next thing you know, Weatherspoon tips the ball in the air, and the big defensive lineman comes down with it. But why is Brock throwing it there? Like, why? And then there was a play. Remember, there's a play where Brock ran, but he had Christian McCaffrey wide open for a check down. It's just like the decision-making and the quickness of the game for Brock Purdy sometimes is great, and sometimes he makes the wrong decisions. And then on the execution part of Brock Purdy, he still, that ball sailed on him. I don't know how you miss a wide open wide receiver like that running a crossing route. All you got to do is throw the ball in front of him. You don't throw it high. But I've been saying that all fucking season long. Balls be behind him. This time the ball was high. If Debo was to catch that pass, there was nobody in front of Debo, and he was already running away from the defender. The safety was over the top of the field with Jawan Jennings. That would have been an explosive play. That would have kept the 49ers with the football, and the Niners could have forced the Seahawks to use their last timeout, and next thing you know, the Niners would have won this game. That's how crazy and how close it could have been from a poor execution of a play. If you want to talk about the whole game, whatever. That's a whole different conversation. Whole game, game plan, whatever. Yafi says, Breezy, let's be serious. CMC is messing up the offense chemistry and limiting Ricky's. I don't get that. That doesn't make sense. I don't know if it's messing up the chemistry, maybe the continuity because he's a little rusty. But how can you say it's messing up? He played last week, and Ricky Pearsall had a good game last week. That's number one. Number two, the team is 500. They were 500. He with CMC, the team got over 500. I like it's tough. It's tough. I think I get your take, but Pearsall had a good game. I just don't know what the game plan was for Ricky Pearsall today. Here's how I would have liked to see the 49ers work, right? I would have liked to see the 49ers, and maybe they do this. Maybe Kyle Shanahan will say, you know what, Jordan Mason, you healthy. You'll move to starting running back. You give me more of explosiveness and what we need. You're a little bit more fresh. We'll ease Christian McCaffrey back in. Make him the third down back at this point. He's a pass catcher. The defense has got to play for that at this point. You know, and maybe switch it up a little bit. Maybe those are some of the adjustments I would like to see Kyle Shanahan kind of like get into. But the 49ers got to figure something out. They've got to change something up, period. Brock Purdy, I think, is good enough. He's elite. He's all those traits. He has all the traits, but he's going to make mistakes. And I know if he could get at least that, if he can get one throw back in this game, it's not the interception throw. That play didn't hurt the 49ers. It's the throw he missed wide open to Deebo Samuel. That throw right there. That throw right there. And so, like, for me, when it comes to Christian McCaffrey, you got to find a way to work him in. You gotta let him play. You gotta get him into some type of rhythm. That's why I keep saying they gotta get him in a rhythm. When does he get into a rhythm? He can't get into a rhythm in practice. I'm sorry, it's not the same as a game. So he's got to take the 1 yard carries, the 2 yard carries, and then he'll start getting you the 6 yard carries, the 7 yard carries. What did Christian McCaffrey finish with in this game too, by the way? Christian McCaffrey, 19 carries. I wanted him at 20 today, but he got to 19, 79 yards. He averaged 4.2 yards per carry. That's Christian McCaffrey. The 4.2 yards per carry. I get it. Jordan Mason, 2 for 13, 6.5 yards. But we don't know what it would have looked like throughout the rest of the game. We just know that we needed to see more of the mixture of the running backs. I think Kyle Shanahan, you know, I got to watch the film. That I can't tell you without watching the film. I cannot tell you without watching the film because I got to count people in the box. And I know when Kyle Shanahan sees when Brock Purdy sees 7 to 8, 9 people in the box, he's canning that play and he's going to a pass play. If he doesn't see the 7 to 8, 9 people in the box, he's not canning the pass play. And you want to talk about blueprints? Do you guys listen to the telecast? If not, you can just subscribe to my Patreon. I know nobody wants to pay any money for it, but I'm telling you on the Patreon exactly what these defenses are doing. And every time the defense runs out with a too high safety defense, the Niners struggle in running against. Why? It's another extra guy to beat. You got another safety back there. You know, it's different when you got the safety playing up in the box. And you could kind of get him on a crackdown block or something, and now your running back just got to make one person miss, and then this explosive play. It's only one safety to beat at the top of the field. That's Christian McCaffrey. There's no more cover one up there. It's all cover 3, cover 2, 2 high safeties. It's a bunch of different things that's making the 49ers plays execute a little bit differently. You gotta find a way to find a person that you like, right? And listen to the film. Unless you're just a film guru and you can see it while you're watching the live game. You'll see it. You just got to count the box. It changes the way that the 49ers execute offensively. It just does. It just does. My man Julian over on Facebook, man, says, Seattle knows that D will play. No more runs. He doesn't. Well, to be honest with you, Julian, everybody knows the Debo play. I think everybody knows the Debo play. I think that's why the faithful is so pissed off. Right? We know the Debo play. We don't want to see it anymore because we know it won't work. I'm trying to figure out, the alignment. I'm going to do something this week. I'm going to go grab the Ricky Pearsall explosive run, and I'm going to grab one of the Debo ones, and I want to see if they line up the same. Because it could be something like a little adjustment like that. Because I remember Ricky being off the line of scrimmage, almost sort of not in the backfield, but almost like a running back in front of the running back off to the side. And he just took the ball and then boom, boom, boom. So I want to see if Debo's coming like out of motion or from the wide out spot and then kind of running around. I need to see if it looks a little different. And if it looks a little different, well, then maybe that could be something that Kyle could look at and say, hey, maybe, if we're going to run this with Debo, we're not going to run you from the wide receiving position. We'll line you up here and move somebody. I don't know. It's a bunch of stuff. I want to see what those two plays look like. I just know that they look crazy. But yeah, man, it's not a bootleg. It's a reverse. It's a jet sweep. And unfortunately, you're right. They're not working. They're just not working for Debo. And it only really worked one time. And it worked one time in preseason with Jacob Cowing. And it worked one time in the regular season with Ricky Pearsall. So it could be the simple fact that they're just younger, faster, whatever. You know what I mean? Ed says Brock only canned one play today. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. That's it. There were no adjustments. Again, I got to go watch the tape. You saw that. You probably better than I am, bro. You know what I mean? Here's why the 49ers really lost this game, and here's why the Niners could not get into a rhythm. Freaking penalties. There were 8 penalties in this game, and I stopped counting at one point. I started counting. The first penalty, Aaron Banks. Second penalty, Juwan Jennings. Third penalty, and I'm just like, what the blood clot are you doing out there on the football field? These penalties are halting drives. Every time the 49ers do something positive, they get set back 5 yards, 10 yards. When you make that 1st and 10 to a 1st and 15 or a 1st and 20, not only is it harder for the offense to execute the plays because there's no play call for 1st and 15 or a 1st and 20, right? Not only that, the defense, smart defenses, realize it as well. And if they can tee off on it, boom. If I'm a defense, I'm always sending this kitchen sink on a 1st and 20. I'm trying to make it 2nd and 20. If I get burnt on 1st and 20, I get burnt on 1st and 20. They had to get 20 yards. It's just common sense. The Niners, man, they shoot themselves in the foot every single week on some type of part, whether it's offensively, defensively, special teams. They find a way to shoot themselves in the foot. And this week, it was penalties. It wasn't the interception by Brock. That ball was tipped. I thought he forced it in there, but that ball was tipped, and it just happened to land into Jonathan Hankins' hands. Whatever. Cool. Boom. Overcame that. Only gave him 3 points, right? They took a 3-0 lead. The Niners came back and clapped back and responded with a touchdown. Drove the ball right down on the field. That's why I'm saying, like, the timing of that interception, it didn't really affect the 49ers. Then the Niners got an interception themselves, and you're like, okay, defense in the second. Let's go. Let's pick up. So, like, overall, like, the defense, they played good, and then they just shit the bed, man. Like, how do you not? Here's my question. How do you not account for the quarterback that runs? How do you not account for a quarterback that runs? Can't blame this one on Kyle Shanahan. I'm sorry. Can't blame this one on Kyle Shanahan. This particular play. How does Geno Smith get 2 explosive runs on the same drive, on the same defense? And I get it. Nick Bosa wasn't out there on the football field. 1,000%. Get it. Here it is. GSU for life. I know we crack jokes on each other every episode we get a chance to. GSU for life one is a real one. I've never met him. I don't even know what he looks like, but he's been a real one. But here it is. They find a way to play undisciplined. It's not there, and that's coaching. That's coaching. Like the penalties, the mistakes. Like, what are we drilling at practice? Like, how do you fix not false starting? How do you false start on the offense? You know the timing. They don't know the timing, but you know. So you're intimidated by the defensive line that makes you twitch or jump? Huh? And then vice versa. Because I remember Nick Bosa getting called for what? Encroachment? What has he got? 5 of those on the season right now? I don't care if he hurt or not. That hurt the team. Penalties be hurting the team. And it's discipline. It comes down to players just being disciplined. I don't get it. Peachy says, yeah, facts. I guess they forgot he's mobile. How? There should be one person in the 49ers organization. There should be one person. If they need a person, hire me, because I write the shit. There should be one person watching my keys to victory every single week or reading it on 49ers web zone. Why? I specifically said, don't forget about this guy and contain the edge. And if you got to spy him, spy him. But he's a mobile quarterback with limited mobility. He's Brock Purdy, basically. He will run if he's in danger. Fight or flight? Well, he flighting. He taking off. And you watched Geno Smith say, I'm not losing. I don't give what you want to do. I don't give what you throw at me. I'm not losing. Discipline, containing, Leonard Floyd. Y'all got to be held accountable. Like, we could blame these coaches all we want. At the end of the day, too, these players got to be held accountable. I think that's the issue. Like, players, coaches, accountability, whatever. Got to figure it out. Because, look, the Niners can't afford to lose another game. They can't. They got 5 losses on the season. Their season's not mathematically over. They cannot win the division as of right now, even though they probably still can find a way. He's going to need some help. But the San Francisco 49ers are going to have to dig deep in their trenches. They're going to have to take whatever they need to do to find a way to heal if they continue to want to compete. And you got a slew of teams. There ain't no easy games on this schedule. They should be dubs for the Niners. No easy games. That any given Sunday bullshit, that junk is real. You thought the Chicago Bears was going to get down and lay down against the Green Bay Packers today? I know they lost, but you thought they were going to lay down? Hell no. It was a divisional game, and unfortunately, their kicker missed at the end, whether it was tipped or blocked. But they didn't lay down. You thought the Seahawks were going to lay down for the San Francisco 49ers? The 49ers aren't bullies. They no longer play with the bully mentality. We're not a bully team. We're not tough. I've said that over and over again. The mentality of the tough guy is gone. There may be 1 or 2 tough guys on this team with that mentality. It's about Jawan Jennings, baby. Let's ring the bell for my man Jawan Jennings, who's playing like a 49ers wide receiver number 1. Make the ear horns for Jawan Jennings. Why? Because he literally put the team on his back and carried the defense into the motherfreaking end zone. He won it. He wants it. Where's the team that wants it? Where's the team that's willing to do anything to go out there and get it? I don't see a team. That's what's meant. Like, where's the band of brothers? Where's the gridiron gang? Where's that? Where's the grit of the San Francisco 49ers? Where'd it go? It can't be on the IR or on the PUP. You can't mean to tell me Dre Greenlaw is the grit. I'm not buying that. It seemed like ever since he got injured, it sucked the life out of the San Francisco 49ers. And I know there's some different variables, so I'm the type of person that's real. Like, I get it. New defensive coordinator, whatever. Gotta live with the bumps and the bruises. I get it. He's handed, literally, a team with the same scheme, and he can't figure out how to get these players to be disciplined enough to make it work. But I don't know what we do. I don't know what to do. My man Daniel Garcia says no passion. That's it. I like grit. Well, you know what? Passion. Imagine me doing this show with no passion. You would go click. That ain't him. What if we did that to the San Francisco 49ers? Click. Why are we spending our money, our time, our energy, and all that to be a part of something where they just look like they out there just to play some whatever they play? Look, I'm as faithful as he gets. But how much longer do we have faith into something when there's no works? They're not even putting in the work. They're not even putting in the work. And I don't give a freak if we're 5-5. We're not a 5-5 team. The top 51, the top 10 of our salary cap says we're not a 5-5 team. You invest all this money for this? This is the product. That's the product you're putting out on the football field. I may not look at the bread. I may not care who we pay. I want players that get their money. And if you physically can't play because you're injured, then don't freaking play. Nobody's talking about how Nick Bosa just leaves at the half because he's dealing with a hip injury. Maybe he just shouldn't have played. Maybe we would have been better prepared without Nick Bosa. Maybe George Kittle should have just said, I'm not going to come out here and test it out. Let me just sit out this week, run with a game plan, and rock with that. What if those be the issues? Little simple fixes. Because the Niners need to be prepared every time they go out there. I really think a part of the issue with Kyle Shanahan's adjusting is the simple fact that he's working with players that he wasn't prepared to use, and he has to get those guys to execute. And he's expecting them to do the same things that George Kittle would do. He's expecting them to do the same because those are his plays. And I don't think Kyle's a on-the-fly type of guy. Let's just call it like it is. Kyle Shanahan's not an on-the-fly type of guy. Kyle Shanahan's not an ad-libber. Kyle Shanahan's not a person that's going to variate away from something and make a play out of no play. That ain't Kyle. Them trick plays we watch, all that stuff from Kyle Shanahan, that's all planned. So we got to stop expecting Kyle to make all these adjustments because he ain't that dude. So then Kyle's going to need a bunch of plays that work for the stars. He's going to need a bunch of plays that work for the rookies. He's going to need a bunch of plays that work for the intermediate players on this team. He's going to have to figure out that. That's what Kyle needs to do. Because your team is your team, and you got who you got. No coach prepares to have their players injured and miss it for season. No coach in the NFL. Not one of the 32 teams, 32 head coaches in the NFL prepares for that. The question is, how do you adapt and how do you adjust to that? And for some reason, Kyle just is not good at adjusting. Daniel said, I like Daniel's comment. Don't be mad if I put up your comments, bro. His stubborn ass won't make changes. Here we go. He's stubborn. Yes, 100%. I don't think he knows how to make the changes, bro. I think that's what it is. And if you and the faithful feel that it's best to move on from Kyle, I get it. If you're not, what I'm trying to say is maybe that's not his philosophy. Does that make sense to everybody out there that's watching? Maybe Kyle's, maybe that's not a part of his makeup. Then this is gonna have to go higher up. Jed York is going to have to get fed up. I don't know. You know what it is? What's going to make Jed York fed up? JM, my man, he's an island guy. Jay Niner, I like that. He says, can we please use both of our running backs? Two-headed running back committee. Yeah. You guys got a bunch of dope questions, man. We're effectively seeing the two running back system work in I'm going to give you the two teams that I know that it has been working effectively, Detroit being one of them. All right, because we want to be like Detroit. I do want to make. Can I just remind people though that we don't have the offensive line like Detroit. So yeah, just keep that in mind, okay? Please, before we try to compare ourselves to Detroit, we're not built that way. I will say that. And then you know what team I feel like we're kind of built like though? Tampa Bay Buccaneers, team we just beat. Right? By the skin of our teeth, right? I feel like that's a team that when they use Rashad White and they use their rookie Bucky Irvin, why can't the Niners do more of that? I think it comes down to trust, though. I really do. I think Kyle just does not trust Jordan Mason. I think he used him because he had to. But the moment he got his guy back, he got the shiny toy back. The moment Christian McCaffrey was back, it was back to McCaffrey getting all the trust. Brock Purdy, what happened to the check down? You over-checked down CMC against the Buccaneers. You barely threw it to him. How many receiving? Five targets? He should be a target on every pass play. Christian McCaffrey probably could have ate in catching the ball, and then you could have used Jordan Mason more in the run game. So, yeah, JM, I agree. I don't know why we're not doing at least or attempting to do that two-headed monster, three-headed monster. We could have mixed it up, you know. You did it once in this game. It worked effectively. Kyle, where's my bell? Maybe you do it again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't know what – you know what I don't know, though to answer this? I don't know I know he's playing – I don't know if he's playing through pain. I don't know what it is about Jordan Mason. I know he's playing, and I know he plays hard, but we don't know how severe that shoulder injury is, and so maybe it could be something like that. I don't know. But, yeah, that needs to be – that would be a change. Two changes. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's do this, and I'm going to bed. Love the crew. I asked them to join. They said they were going to come. Unfortunately, whatever happened, but I'm tired, and I need a break. I want y'all to put in this chat right here. First of all, before you put in this chat, number one, can you please hit that like button? Number two, if this is your first time watching, thank you. Appreciate you. Love you. Subscribe, though. Subscribe, motherfucker. Hit it, right? If you're watching on Facebook, cool. Love you there. Appreciate the love on Facebook. Shout out. We 10K over there, man, on Facebook. But listen, do me a favor. Get your ass over on the YouTube. I want to be 10K on YouTube. Please help me out because YouTube don't like me. And they know that. But it's cool. So do that for me. Now, in the chat, right, before we go. Nah, fair, I ain't blaming you for nothing, bro. I get it. Listen, I'm just overly tired. I put a lot of energy into these things, and I just do a lot of work. So I'm just overly tired. When I watch the football game, I'm exhausted. In the chat, I want everybody to put in one change. The WayneBreezie show will be tomorrow, so we can talk more tomorrow. I promise. One change you want Kyle Shanahan to do. One change from the head coach's perspective. What would you like for him to do? Whatever that change is. I'm going to read the first 10 that pop up. Spidey Jackson, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. So the first 15 that pop up, one change. That's not a change, GSU for life. That's not a change either, Christy Marie. Y'all can leave. Y'all like laugh at them, and that was funny. All right, play the 3 rookies. I got you. So maybe we'll see more of that. Be more aggressive. I would like to know more about what you mean by be more aggressive. I think that's a dope thing. Like, be more aggressive. But how? Aggressive how? Aggressive in running the ball, aggressive in throwing the ball, aggressive in play calling, aggressive in, because Kyle was hell of aggressive today. Like, in my opinion, I thought Kyle Shanahan, he challenged both. He used both challenges. He was using timeouts, right? right? We ain't waste nothing. We ain't have none of them dumbass play clock penalties, delayed games, things like that. None of those. That, like, I thought the aggressiveness of Kyle Shanahan to want to win this game was there. But I want to know what you mean by be more aggressive. Peachy says, get a damn OC. Man, I'm going to challenge Peachy. And Peachy, you say get an OC. Peachy, I'm challenging you, not right now, but find me 5 candidates for offensive coordinator for this team. 5 candidates that you feel like can be an offensive coordinator for this team. Can come from any team. 5 candidates. I would like to know who you got in mind. Fire the special teams coordinator, Scott Dozois. Is that how you say your name, Scott Dozois? Excuse me. Fire special teams coordinator. Like, yeah, but I mean right now. I don't see him firing any coaches right now. But right now, if Kyle could change, this has got to be the long-term thing, though. Like this, Brian Schneider cannot come back as special teams coordinator. He just can't. He can't. Excuse me. Sorry about that. My man Triple.31 says, hey, make an end season switch and move Sorensen to special teams. All right. I like that. Give more Mason from Chrissy 1687. Hope you're feeling well. More Mason. Why not? Why not? Why not more Mason? Why not? Why not more Mason? I don't get it. Spidey says, stop being stubborn. Stop being stubborn. Yeah, man, like, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. David M, accountability. Here's what I'm learning, Dave. I don't see Kyle Shanahan ever taking accountability for anything because he's not the one out there making the mistakes in his head. So I'm over that. But I do like the players that take the accountability. So shout out to every 49er football player that goes up there to that podium and takes accountability in every interview. You guys are the real MVP. Will Kyle Shanahan do that? Absolutely not. Stop running CMC to inside. Is it Snappy G? I hope I said it right. Yeah, like I get it. We're trying to set up the inside, the outside zone, the power runs, blah, 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 blah. But the power runs aren't working because CMC and his timing with the gaps isn't there yet. Get him to the outside. I don't know if the health of Trent Williams was bad. We do know we were missing George Kittle. And so, that was different. Use all the running backs. I'm going to read as many of these as I can for the next couple of minutes. I'm sorry. These are really freaking good takes, man. You guys are making the show. Big Daddy Niners, more pressure, are you trying to say? More pushy? I'm not sure. Be more pushy? What is that? What does be more pushy mean? I need to know more in detail. Be more pushy. Joe has a statement that says Kyle never plays rookies. Pistol would have won this game. Kyle is a bozo. All right. Say less. Fear says, can I give one change for the show? I want Giashi. He will not. He will not. I can tell you that right now. Daniel says, turn in his letter of resignation. Matthew says, open up the effing playbook. Matthew, I don't know why. You know what I think? Somebody said something on this show. I think the playbook is dated, right? Right? So if Kyle, maybe we need a season, right? And I know I'm not asking for this and I don't want this, but maybe we do need a season where we're not competing and we can make some addendums and some changes to some of the stuff because Kyle really doesn't have time to do any of that type of stuff. Think about it. We're competing here, Super Bowl, playoffs, blah, 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 whatever. So maybe, and then after that, you got to get ready for the draft. You got to get ready for this. You got to get ready for that. So maybe if we aren't in contention this year, maybe we'll see some of those changes in the playbook, Matthew. My cousin Sid says, give Purdy the ability to adjust to any play. I don't know if that's Kyle Shanahan, but yeah. Sid, you watch all football. So today football, right? I want to know if there are any other quarterbacks that you know of that does have that ability, or are most teams, what if most teams are running the changes of the plays within the play? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they are. You're talking about audibling. So that's what he's talking about. For those that don't know about football, he's talking about give Brock Purdy the ability to audible at the line of scrimmage. And audible doesn't mean canning a play. It means literally, oh, I see this. We're changing the whole play. I want all my guys from this side, come this side. You're going to have different assignments, blah, 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 blah. Not just emotions. I get what you're saying. But I'm curious to know if that's what the league is getting to. I don't know if all quarterbacks have that ability or if they're running 2 to 3 plays in one at the same time. I don't know. That's something I got to look into. My man Tony says, run with both running backs more consistently, play the youngsters, just running, more plays to the rookies, a lot of the same things. Spider 1000 MTG World Gaming, use all the weapons that we're paying. Yeah, Araceli, add versatility. We have 3 good running backs. I was so amped on drafting. Does anybody remember why I was so amped on drafting Isaac Guerrero? I know a lot of people were like, what? Isaac Guerrero, he didn't play. Yeah, but when he played, he was the most explosive running back on the football field. So explosiveness and the versatility is a great pass catcher. He's a former wide receiver converted to a running back. So he has hands. I think the issue with Isaac Guerrero, though, Araceli, and the rookies, I know you're only talking about the versatility of him. I think his issue is not understanding the plays. Not understanding his role in the plays. And if you go back to the last game, he got demoted. It is what it is. He gave up that sack because he checked and released, and maybe the play was he was supposed to literally block a defensive end. Listen, I want your little ass to block this big ass motherfucker right here. Like, that's your job. Didn't see him much today. Maybe he had 2 snaps. I'm with the versatility. We did lose Jacob Conway to this game, so guys, if you guys know the word of prayer, please pray for Jacob Conway. I think he left the game with a concussion. Let's just pray that everything works out in his favor and God continues to just heal and bless him. Because I want to see I think the kid's got some really good promise. That's another kid that we would definitely like to see. A part of this offense, like, you know what I mean? A part of this offense. Jackson's played the other running back more, switch them out, loosen up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is to keep the defense guessing. If you got Christian McCaffrey, it's weird though because once Jordan Mason got injured, we couldn't run the ball well with him. I don't know if y'all remember that. It was a little stint, but once he started getting injured, they started taking away like the inside zone, and he was missing the cuts to the outside when he came back. So it's just weird. It's something about the reliever, though, of the running backs that always seem to get off on defenses. So I'm okay if Christian McCaffrey starts and he's not getting you what you want as far as production, but relieve him with Jordan Mason. Relieve him with the speed of Isaac Guerrero, who can get you the explosive play. I'm all for the relieving. Like, it needs to be there, like especially at the running back position. You could literally have running backs on this roster for a long time if you just relieve some of the pressure. In my opinion, Joe has a take, says he blew this game on purpose. Not playing rookies on offense is no excuse. He would rather lose than play the better players. If that's your take, I'm with you, bro. Like, at this point, I don't know what it is. You know what I would like to see? I'm with Peachy on this one. I would like to see an offensive coordinator. Just give me somebody that knows how to call plays. I just don't know who the hell we get, but give me an offensive coordinator. Like, you know what I mean? Please give me somebody that their only job is to make is to design plays and to make sure that the plays are executed. I just feel like offensive coordinating and head coaching at the same time, one got to give. Like you can only do one great. If Kyle wants to be a play caller, then be an offensive coordinator. Let's get a head coach. If Kyle wants to be a head coach, then Kyle, do us a favor, yo. Get you some help, dog. Please, get you some help. I think I would take that over accountability any motherfucking day. Like any day of the week. If Kyle Shanahan said, you know what? I'm gonna get a play caller to come in. Not for us. Not because that's what we want. Not that. Not that. 49er Jeff says not having McDaniels is showing. There you go. There's the bingo. We keep forgetting that we look different, and there's reasons why we look different. We keep thinking it's just the players. No, it's the coaching too. Like, he's no longer here. He was the advanced, in my opinion, run game coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. So he wasn't officially the offensive coordinator, but as far as the run game, that was the man. So when you saw all these different designs of runs and tricks and this and that, it was because of him, who is now with head coaching in Miami. So there's a bunch of different, this is the most positive thing GSU for Life has ever said to me in my entire life. And I'm going to read it, and I'm going to end the show on that. But you get what I'm saying? Like, you brought in Nick Sorensen. You hired Nick Sorensen. You promoted Nick Sorensen. But then you brought in that other guy that we don't even want to say his name. And he's supposed to kind of like just be, I don't like to use the word overseer, but whatever. He's the go-to guy if Kyle needs to talk to somebody on the defense. Cool, whatever. And so offensively, who's that guy? And maybe it's the Kubiak brother, right? But he's not creative. Maybe it's not Kyle Shanahan. Overall, in the grand scheme of it, it's Kyle Shanahan. But maybe he's got a guy that's helping with the coordinating and on running these plays, and these plays just ain't it. Remember how preseason football looked? So why do we still look like we're playing preseason football? Tell me that. Why does it still look like we're playing preseason football? So what if there's things that we know that aren't being told to us because Kyle is taking the blunt for it without taking accountability because it's his team? And what if Kubiak is just not as creative? So Bosa has both oblique injuries? Damn. Yeah. Bosa's done for at least 4 weeks. Those got to heal. Nick says, yeah, Breezy, but McDaniels has been workout as well. Kyle's offense, STL. I don't know what that means. Say it again so I can understand it. Please say it again because I just want to make sure I'm understanding it. The 49ers 2012, even if Kittle and Bosa played, I still think we lose this game. Kyle chokes away games. I should be used to it. This is his DNA. I disagree because when you have Kittle out there, it opens up the explosive plays. And if you go to the 49ers offense this year, not last year, this year, it's built off of explosive plays. Remember, we moved away from the dink and dunk. Remember Mike and I having that big argument about, the play, the identity, whatever we were talking about on one of the B.A.M shows. But we're not dinking and dunking as much. Even on this game we did. Like, that's crazy. Brock was hella efficient. 22 for 29. I'll take it. It just didn't look pretty, right? But we do have more explosive plays because you got another pass catcher down there that the defense, the safeties, and that, I don't know if we hear me out. I'm not a football coach. Like Fair is a football coach. So if Fair's still watching the show, I'm sure he can co-sign or take what I'm saying and make it a little bit more clear for you from a coach's perspective. But think about it. No Kittle. Them safeties ain't had nobody to worry about as far as tight ends. Who was they covering? So they could cheat. They cheated all game. They didn't have to move. Brock couldn't move the motherfuckers to save his life. Safety wasn't budging. You got George Kittle on the football field. Who's defending George Kittle? You're not putting a linebacker on him, and you damn sure not going to. What safety on that team can defend George Kittle? Don't tell me Julian Love. He was a non-factor today. He was more of a factor the last time we played, non-factor today. So not having George Kittle did hurt the 49ers offense. I know we don't want to say it. He was the reason why we lost. That's not what I'm saying. I think it hurt the 49ers offense getting into some type of a rhythm and getting some type of something explosive down the field. Now, defensively, listen, your best defensive player ain't on the football field. It's going to be different. It's just going to be different. Like Bosa, it's going to be different. So, yeah, breaking news, Nick Bosa appears to have oblique injuries to both obliques. So I guess on both sides, injuries, and 9 times out of 10, he's going to be out. Spidey Jackson, thank you so much for saying that this is great content. Guys, pray for me, man. Hopefully, I'll get my monetization back tomorrow. Hopefully. Hope I wake up and it's just back. But if not, we'll still be here bringing you content. I may be starting all over again, but it is what it is. I'll still be here. GSU says the safeties don't have to move. You're right. But when kiddos on that football field, they be moving. I don't care what you say. It be different. Because I like what like Kittle brings. He's that dynamic. I want to know what this is. I wish the 49ers invested on another PS. Bosa needs pass rusher is what you mean? Bosa needs help. It doesn't look like they will get him help anytime soon. I'm trying to figure out what you mean by PS. But if Nick Bosa goes on the IR, maybe it'll be time to stick a fork in it, get a good draft capital, and start preparing for next season. Guys, you've been an amazing crowd. I was over here for an hour. I did not want to do this, but I'm here by myself. I'm sorry that everybody else couldn't. Pass rusher. Got you. Just to make sure I knew. GSU for Life said something, and I can't find it. So I'm going to scroll back up, and I'm going to find it. Shout out to my Nitty Gritty Niners crew. I love each and every one of them. And here we go. I wanted to end the show with this. And I'm sorry that the Niners lost, man. It's just the way it is. Sometimes. You know, I thought they would find a way to win this game gritty, and they couldn't. This is Breezy, you're a former educator. You know good teachers inspire students to learn and do well. Kyle can't inspire. Hold on. Okay, I got to start using that button more. And you know what? I thought people were getting bored whenever I would bring up that analogy, GSU for Life 1. Because I know people were like, yo, this dude, man, like, why you keep talking about teacher? Yo, this is what being an effective teacher is all about. It ain't even about teaching the kids. It's about reaching the kids. Kyle has to figure out a way to reach his players. And I'm not saying he lost them. But Kyle has to figure out a way to reach them. He has to kind of like dig down, go down to their level. If you want somebody to be as great as you, smart as you, they not you. They can't be that. But you can coach them. You can mentor them. You can teach them. You can guide them. And the way you do it is you go down to their level. You tuck the pride in and you say, F the pride. It's something about this kid. Something about this player. Something about this. Let's go get him. And you go get him. And slowly and surely over time, you'll start to see that the potential you saw in them is everything you knew that they were going to be. But you got to be good at getting the potential out of the players, out of the kids. So that's why I always use that teacher analogy. Like, you know, it's not about being able to teach students and have them score good grades and good test scores. That if you ain't connecting to the child, you lost. If you ain't connected to your players, you lose games. So I'll leave on that note. Guys, I'll be back tomorrow, WayneBreezie Show, probably 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I need some time to kind of like recap, let the grades come out. Just I want to see how they grade it. You know what I mean? And things like that. You guys are amazing. Shout out to everybody out there that was on the live show on both feeds, Facebook and YouTube. I appreciate it. Shout out to my crew. Love to nothing but Niners. Love everybody out there. If you're a 49er content creator, I have nothing but love for you. Just wanted you to know that. I may not be able to support you in the ways you want me to because I'm constantly still trying to figure out how to do what I'm doing. But just know that I'm watching, I'm listening, I'm paying attention. If you need anything, if you know me, you could just always send me a message. So love y'all. Stay up. Keep it faithful, man. Niners lose, but let's get our minds prepared. We got to head to Green Bay. And it's a place where it gets gritty, where we can win gritty on the road. Let's get it done. And it is what it is, man. Peace out, man.
Hey.
Breezy, this that Niners Mo's knows.
PG, fear the dog. It's about that time, everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's knows Peachy, Breezy, and fear the God. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you 9 to talk. We two gorillas, silverback, 9 silver
You know
hawks.
it's busting, good discussion, cause we get it in. Every time, you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win, the faithful going hard. It's WayneBreezie, Peachy, Mo's knows and fear the God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, it's the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, it's the line is tall.
We outline players up in chalk.
Nitty gritty, it's the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, it's the line is tall. Nitty gritty, it's the line is tall.